Bam! What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Keith Jesse here tonight on our bench in our little studio, playing with our newest addition to the fleet. Kind of seems to be a weekly kind of event around here, this new edition thing. But yeah, tonight we got the ROC Hobby's 1/6 scale 1941 MB scaler. It's obviously a Jeep Willys, or Willys, I guess, because Jeep really wasn't Jeep back then or something. Check it out, Donut Media's got an episode on it. They'll know what's going on more than we do. So, yeah, so it's pretty much a 1/6 scale 4x4 truck. This is the RS, I guess that's the ready set version or whatever. Comes with the radio, pretty much everything you need besides a battery and a charger. Truck comes with a pretty fancy, nice little traveling case for it. If you don't do too many mods to it, it might still fit in there. I'm sure you can mod the case and fit it down the road. Ooh, extra fancy. Nice little package in there. Flip up windshield on it. Cool. Let's get it out of here. Is it strapped in? Oh no, that's right. We already had it out and played with it. So inside the box you would get a manual. You would get this little rod, which is for holding the body open. Windshield wipers. You'd add those on. And then your radio. These radios are becoming very common nowadays. They're the slide together little pistol grip. They got an okay feel to them. Nothing to run home about. Manual's pretty basic. It does go through and tell you to set up the EPAs on there. We didn't get that figured out, so. That's something we'll look into a little bit farther down the road. We are going to change the radio system out on, so we're not really too concerned about figuring out the EPA setup on a radio like this. So yeah, under the hood, you have a scale engine. Yeah, pretty decent engine bay design. You get the radiator in the front, fan shroud, battery over here, some box, bunch of wiring, horn. Pretty good looking setup in there, pretty decent. With some paint that's going to look really nice. It does have headlights, LED headlights mounted front. What's the name of that light there? Anti-aircraft light, I believe it is. Yeah, anti-aircraft light over there lights up. And unfortunately, the tail lights do not light up on these models. The windshield has a clasp on the back. You just press that in, you can fold that guy down. Ooh, fancy. Bring it back up, lock it in. Ready for days playing around. Fun, fun, fun. Steering wheel turns with a servo mounted below into the body. It turns pretty decent, actually. It's pretty cool. I know some other kits had that and it was pretty weak. Yeah, this one works pretty good. Storage box in the back is fake, but the padding on the seats is real. Pretty cool. It's got the 3 gear shifters on the inside, like they would have the 3 gear shifters. And it has the correct badging on the dash. Super scale. Yeah. Pop it open, there's 2 body clips underneath the rear deck. Not really the easiest to get into there with, but definitely easy. This guy comes up and then your prop rod, you go whatever. Hold the body up, put a weird torque on the front mount. Yeah, so battery tray in there. One thing they did not supply, or we did not get with ours, was straps for the battery tie down. So that's one thing. We'll just have to throw some of the Velcro we have kicking around in there. Bumper's pretty rubbery. It's pretty squishy. Got a little pintle hitch on the back. It's not locking, but pretty cool. Planetary drive. 35 turn brushed motor with the Hobby Wing 1060 ESC. It's a good little ESC, works good. Yeah, it's a planetary drive with a external slipper adjustment on the backside right here, which is nice, to a divorced center mounted transfer case. So you got your two front hinge bolts, 2.5 millimeter hinge bolts in the front. You got to make sure that you get this dude here for your, oh, it's a locking one too.
Do you need a hand?
Yes. Okay, there we go. So we can talk about setup a little bit better. You can see what we're talking about. Planetary transmission, very simple. Motor goes in the middle, gear spinner on the outside, puts power down out through here. Adjustable slipper clutch on the outside, so you tighten up this nut and that will give you slipper clutch adjustment. Divorced transfer case means transfer case is not connected to the transmission. It is down here separate with this little drive shaft. And it has another output on the back, so you can run like to a 6x6. Pretty cool little T case actually. We'll see how they hold up. Doesn't split in half. It smells cheap, so I don't know. I like how they did the little standoffs on the side of the chassis here to mount your ESC and your radio.
Those are nice.
Yeah, very nice design. Chassis mounted servo in the front. One thing I do not like about chassis mounted servos is when they put them too far forward in design like this and you get your servo horn sticking out past the end of the frame. Yes, the bumper does protect it here, but I just prefer them back behind the steel, behind the cross member, like many of the rigs that are out there. But yeah, still works. So yeah, chassis mounted servo with 3-link, 1, 2, 3, and panhard. The panhard mount on it is adjustable. It has 3 different holes. Boop, boop, boop. It is rather thin this way, but it has a lot of surface area this way, and its load on it is this way. It doesn't experience much load this way, so it makes sense. Yeah, it's got like 0-degree kingpin axles, so the steering on this thing will never be really on point with any of the SCX-10 axle, any of the vehicles on the market with that kind of capability steering. But otherwise, built well, no complaint. Big C-hubs, big knuckles, big reinforced steering arm. All the things that you're worried about breaking, they're definitely there. Definitely strong. Shocks are massive, but the reason we took the body off is we noticed the shocks. Oh, now it's moving because we were talking about it. We're very, very tight and getting caught, so we just wanted to open them up and see what kind of magic they put inside of them and make sure we're running a decent shock oil in it. It's a heavier truck, not really that heavy, but altogether it's pretty good weight. They're calling it 1/6 scaled, but I'm pretty sure it's same size on my 10 scales, just the big body on it. It's like 12.5. It's not even that much longer. Yeah, pretty cool truck. I do like the frame design. I like frame designs that pinch in the middle to be skinny in the front and skinny in the rear, so you can fit your suspension and everything in nice and tight. Everything fits in a nice package. You got no goofy angles. Like, these are big shocks, and we still got room to clear the frame. So under like full articulation, you're not worried about your shock coming over and rubbing on the frame at all. So that's pretty decent design. It's a pretty heavy pinch on the front, but like you go climb underneath a real pickup truck and watch how much that frame comes in to go from holding the cab to fitting in between the front suspension, right? So yeah, so very cool frame. We might just order the chassis kit separate and do some builds off of them with some other parts. pretty decent. I like it. Axles, I don't know, not so much. If they give out on us, we'll throw some AR60 axial axles underneath it. Any of the parts go on it. There's a ton of other upgrades we can throw at it. We just basically wanted it so we can join the cool guy club and get one of the Jeeps, whatever. No, willys. What is it? I don't even know. Okay, let's see what's inside of these shocks. There's something in there.
We got fluid.
Yeah, completely full. No complaints there. Very light fluid though. I think this is mineral oil number 10. You remember mineral oil number 10? Because like, look at it's shaking.
Yeah.
It's as thin as mineral oil. So nothing wrong there. And I also want to get apart and grease this lower shaft just a little bit for that seal pack on the bottom. The grease will make the rubber expand a little bit, bite a little bit, and then get rid of that sticky spot. Okay, so 35 weight axial shock wheel in there, bumped that together, bled that out. We're just going to throw this front end back together and we'll hit you back with a quick update to show you the difference and how smooth and buttered the front end is. So you can already see that just by doing this one shock with a new shock oil and greasing everything that makes sure it works nice, that the machine actually travels on up and down. This one, come on, oh, it's down now? Oh, and I don't know what it did. It's just not coming back up. It's tired. Oh, there it is. So, yeah, a little bit of work. You can actually dial them in pretty nicely. That one's all type of sticking, so.
Wheel.
Yeah, it's pretty light wheel. Jesse and I are curious to find out what's inside these axles, if they're plastic or if they're metal gears. Our money's riding on metal gears. The simple fact is everything else in the truck seems pretty good. Like the shafts are nice size, thick. The front has universal drives instead of dog bones. The shocks are nice, thick. The links are metal. The ball ends are metal. Aha! Yeah, very nice to see. Very large axle shafts running into here. Very large, very large. 4 bolts holding the gear to the locker in the middle. It's got some kind of thick, gooey grease here. I don't know what the heck that is. But, you know, at least there's a big, thick layer of gooey grease in there. Huh. You can tell they greased it and then they spun it. Like, turned it a bunch and then assembled it. So I'm going to replenish that. A little bit of party grease in there. Bam! So yeah, if you're thinking about getting one of these trucks, I would grab one of these trucks. You know, you're getting what you're paying for. And that's what we like to see. I think ready to run. These guys are sitting around 500 bucks Canadian, 350, 399 US. I don't know what they are. Somewhere around there. Yeah, so that finishes off the build on the ROC Hobby's 1/6 scale MB scaler. Sure, yeah. Very nice unit. I even like the kind of amberish vintage look of the LEDs they went with. They went with a really low.
Warm. They're very warm.
Yeah, so it's like a low. What do you call that? K? No. What is it called? Yeah, K rating, right? Because like 8,000 K is like blue, 5,000 white, so it's like a 1,000 or something K on the LEDs. Pretty cool. We got our dude driver, a guy that we found somewhere local for like 30 bucks or 20 bucks or 10 bucks or something like that. We threw him in there. He's, I believe he's South African. Doesn't look like he might have stole the truck, but shocks on it feel a lot better. Nothing gets stuck. It's a lot more, a little bit slower in the movement. It's not so springy. So yeah, pretty much, yeah. Steering wheel. A little bit loud, but yeah. That's on 3S. It's only a 1060 amp ESC, so you know, not the greatest big what do they call it, tower power in there, but good enough to get the job done on the scaler truck. Picks the front tires up when you hammer it on the mat, so good enough. Trucks are great. Winter's here. We all need projects. It's gonna be a great scaler project. Jesse are not sure if we are gonna do a Jeep that's come back from the war and been repurposed into a weekend warrior with big fat tires and a roll cage and all that fancy stuff, or if we're gonna go just military with it, which is kind of boring. So I don't know, we'll probably just end up going the first route with it. It sounds more fun. We do some fancy cool paint jobs on old like 1960 paint job. We kind of build it that way. So yeah, stay tuned. Next build, this guy will come back sometime in the next few months. We got to get Mr. Bronco done, and yeah, stay tuned. We traded our Pokemon card collection for this one. I traded my Pokemon Go collection. Is that a thing? I traded My Little Pony collection. Your turn, Jesse. What'd you trade?
I can't say on the internet.
Actually, the body's fairly light. You want to hold it?
Look at how light
Hold
it
my
is.
body, Jesse. Ooh, wait.
Yeah, it's pretty light actually.
Right? Surprisingly. I thought it'd be a lot heavier. Nah, he's in there good, like. He does his Kegels. Doing butt stuff to hold on.
Let's move.
So that finishes off the build. Oh my